Now we are.
Well,
Hello, grinders.
Oh, are you going to do it this time, Devin?
I guess so. Whatever.
I mean,
We're
you
just
can.
rolling with it. Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? My name's Devin Murray. He's Tommy Joe Martins, and this is the Grind Podcast live, coming to you October 8th. It's about 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 o'clock Central Time. We've got the college football games going on right now. The Colts just scored to go up 10-0 on the Texans, and the SMU-Houston game is tied 14-14. So that's what we've got going on right now. Tommy, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Another week of doing this live. Let's see if we can keep up the same kind of interaction that we were getting last week. It was kind of cool doing it.
Yeah, it was great.
Everybody chirp at us the whole way.
It was
great.
great.
That was pretty good. And actually, I want to clarify something for everybody who was chirping at us on Twitter. First of all, thank you for interacting with us. We really enjoy it. We get a kick out of it when you guys tweet at us. And if you're not following the thing already, it's at the Grind Podcast on Twitter, which you probably are following it because that's probably where you got the link to this. But we had a few people. I want to call them out. Joe Woolsey, Jordan Bell. Y'all want to keep chirping.
Here we go.
Like my microphone, like I had a fan turned on. Was there a fan in my room, Devin?
It was really fuzzy, Tommy. It was
I don't know
really
what happened.
fuzzy.
It's not like I did anything different. Nothing changed.
So
we apologize for that. But
our call dropped, and whenever you came back on, remember when we had to restart?
Yeah,
it was just super fuzzy.
That's weird.
Whatever that was.
You would think that you would have picked that up in the audio, just us having a conversation. But
yeah, I didn't hear it.
Weird.
I didn't hear
so sorry about that. Didn't do anything different. But
yeah,
that's kind of a weird one.
Also, if you're not listening to this live, you're listening to this on iTunes, and you didn't catch this last week because we didn't put it up because I got lazy. We are doing a live broadcast of The Grind on Thursday nights during football season, so we can have a little bit of interaction. It's on YouTube. Follow our Twitter account. We post the links up there. And so if you're listening to this in the car or at work, come join us next week. We'll hopefully be doing it again. So, Tommy, what do you want to talk about?
Well, right now I want to talk about the Texans getting their ass kicked at home because this is quite frankly embarrassing. And it's early in this thing, but this is really embarrassing. I was watching a little bit of the lead up to this, and they were talking about how for the Texans, who are already off to a terrible start, they're 1-3. Everybody was wanting to talk about how good the defense was going into it. And really, is their defense that good, or do they just have J.J. Watt?
They got Jadeveon Clowney. He's back. I don't think he's really done much this year. But
he hasn't.
They've got some talent over there, right?
Obviously not, because Matt Hasselbeck's put up 10 on him in the first quarter.
Well, what happened at the very beginning was the Colts drove straight down, or the Texans drove straight down, and they had a 3rd and 5, and Ryan Mallett, our boy Ryan Mallett, big shout. Who want to give Ryan Mallett a Scantron? Quick aside, if you haven't heard this story, oh, man. So apparently while in school at Arkansas, Ryan Mallett was in a class and needed a Scantron to take his test. And he didn't have one. And so instead of asking the person next to him, hey, you got a Scantron? He just stood up in front of the entire class and said, who want to give Ryan Mallett a Scantron? One of my favorite stories. Well, anyway, so he drove the Texans down. They were on like the 15-yard line. It was 3rd and 5. He makes a quick slant route or quick seam route
just an underneath route to Arian Foster is all it was.
Arian Foster just going down the field, and he was probably going to score or at least get down to the 5. It was definitely
going to get the first down. Yeah,
he was definitely going to get the first down. And Arian Foster just went right through his hands. It was just a little bit behind him, but an easy catch. Brian Mallett for one.
He threw it right on his face mask, man.
Yeah, but you got to catch that. I'm sorry, you got to catch it.
No, that's what I'm saying. He threw it right in his face. I don't know where else you want him to put it.
He didn't drill it. It was. No. He put some touch on it, and it just went right through Arian Foster's hands. Got tipped, intercepted. They returned it up to the 30. Colts went down, scored a field goal, and they just scored another touchdown. So, real quick, we'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. We do have some bets that are live tonight, and so we've got the SMU Houston game over 71.5. It's 14-14 right now. 10 minutes left in the second, so looking all right there. We've got Houston minus 5.5, so that interception really pissed me off. And we've also got in the late, or should be starting right about now, the USC Washington game. We've got Washington plus 17 on the road. So,
all right. Defense has looked pretty good for Washington so far this year.
yeah. And isn't that where Sarkisian came from?
Yes.
I feel like that's kind of going to be a bitter game, and I think they'll play well and keep it close. So I don't think they'll win. I think USC wins, but 17 is just a lot. So speaking of which, we're going to talk about betting lines tonight. We're going to do a little preview of the games for the weekend and talk about what I'm going to give out 5 college picks. I haven't been doing well this year, so tread lightly, but I'm going to still throw them out there because
have you kept track of your record of these?
I haven't because it's been so bad, but I will starting this week because this week I really I felt like I researched it. I looked into it. I looked at stats. I was looking at matchups, and I think that we're going to have at least a break-even week, maybe 2-2-1.
That's a losing week.
Hey, now it's all just fun. Don't please, if you're listening, please don't bet a lot of money ever. It's dumb. Use it as entertainment, not as a way to pay your bills. That's what I'll lead with there. So, Tommy, you want to get into the first games of the weekend, college games?
Yeah, go for it. You're the betting man here, Devin. I'm going to let you control this segment, and I will just chirp at the end of it what I think you're doing wrong.
Okay, that sounds fun for me anyway. First bet of the week is going to be Alabama minus 16.5 with Arkansas visiting. Tommy, you're going to have to turn down your TV, bro.
Minus 16.5?
Minus 16.5 versus Arkansas. Arkansas coming off a win last week against Tennessee, 24-20. They had to come back. They were down in that game. They won on the road. Alabama obviously coming in off the huge win at Georgia between the hedges. And I think that Alabama is going to run all over Arkansas just like they did Georgia. This is a spot that Alabama is comfortable being in coming off a big win. I don't think there's going to be a hangover. I think that they dominate this game start to finish. I don't think Tennessee's any good, so I'm not taking anything from that 24-20 win that they had. And I think that they roll over them about like they did Georgia, if not worse, because it's at home. And these are two teams that their staple is they run the ball. And spoiler alert, Alabama runs the ball a lot better than Arkansas does. And that hasn't been a fluke to this point. They're just better at running the ball. What do you think, Tommy?
Where's this game? This is in Tuscaloosa?
Yes.
I don't know. I still subscribe to the philosophy that 17 is a lot. 17 is a lot.
I mean, 17 is a lot in
SEC game. SEC game,
Really? You think that Arkansas keeps this close? Their quarterback was like 9 for 21 last week. That's not going to work against Alabama.
Yeah. I don't know. If Alabama hits, I don't think they're way over that. I don't think you're going to cover that easy. Let me put it that way. I don't think they're scoring. I mean, the thing is, you got to essentially beat them by 3 touchdowns. I mean, you got to beat them by 21.
Yeah.
I mean, roughly, for that to make sense. I mean, you could beat them by less, but and I just don't think that's. I don't think Alabama's beating them by 21. I would go the other way there.
Really? All right.
I do. I think Arkansas is going to be one of those teams that just where you're like, man, would you just die already? And they just don't. They just keep kind of just sticking around.
Yeah, but don't you think Alabama's just pissed off? Like, don't they just have to be pissed off?
Yeah, but I think that was obvious last week. I think they have subsided a little bit because they've already gotten their revenge. They're already above Ole Miss in the polls. Ole Miss got clobbered. But
that's not how Alabama works. Alabama doesn't go, we're going to do one game. Alabama goes, we're going to do the rest of the freaking season. We're just gonna destroy everybody. And they lost, and I think that they're about to roll over quite a few people. And so I don't think that this one's close. I think this might be a 21-point game at the half. Because if that quarterback, if you just pressure him and he starts turning the ball over, it gets out of hand real quick in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
there's part of me that believes that the Arkansas-Alabama matchup is really a bad matchup for Arkansas because what they're trying to do is what Alabama does really well defensively. Like, Arkansas is just a crappier version of Alabama. You know?
Right, that's what I'm saying. They're just a bad.
Yeah, but I still just don't think they're going to beat them by 3 touchdowns. That seems like a lot. That just seems like a lot. I just think it's going to be one of those kind of ugly games. I don't know. I can see Alabama winning like 35-21, and you're still not there.
Oh, come on now. They're not winning. Arkansas is not putting up 21 points against Alabama, I don't think. But it is what it is, I guess. We don't have anybody watching, Tommy. We got one person. Hey, if you're in the chat, talk to me, please. Because I feel silly having it open for no reason if no one's in here.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, next up. We've got Missouri. This is my upset of the week. We're just going to go ahead and get it out of the way.
Okay. Well, I'm already against you on one of these. So let's see if we can go 2 for 2.
So the bet here is – this is actually a bet with my friend Jordan Bell. Big shout, Belliard. I think that Missouri upsets Florida in Columbia. And I think that Florida has a hangover game, and Matty Mock is not on the team anymore, and that didn't seem to be going well. And I think that they're sneaky. They're sneaky okay. I don't think that they're great, but I think that Florida just has a hangover game, and I don't think Florida's the number 11 team in the nation either. Like, I don't think that they're that good. Am I wrong there? And the money line, I'm trying to get it up right now, but I think it's at like plus 20, plus 200 something. What do you think, Tommy?
Yeah, Florida's a 4.5 point, or Florida's getting 4.5 in this deal.
Yeah.
Which is not that many points for a team that just took the number 3 team in the country to the woodshed.
Yep.
They're not getting a whole lot of points against an unranked team. The game is getting played in Missouri, so that changes things.
Well, I think the spread was that.
That's not that big of an upset. I don't think it would be that big of an upset.
I don't think it would either. So 2-1 at home, a team that just somehow wins games that they shouldn't whenever it's against other SEC East opponents. They beat. I know that South Carolina sucks, but they beat South Carolina by 14. Looked pretty good. I think that it's going to be a close one. I think that it's going to go maybe to overtime, and maybe Missouri can make a kick at home this year.
Yeah, I could see this being a close one. I would actually take Missouri there.
Yeah,
I would take Missouri there.
So
maybe not to win the game, but if you're giving me 4.5, yeah, I'm probably taking that.
Well, I think if it's close, I think that Missouri wins. I don't think that Florida wins a close game on the road right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So apparently
I'll roll with you there.
Our chat isn't open. No one can comment.
So everybody just left. Somebody got in, figured out they couldn't type, and just left.
I don't know why that's here. I don't know how we can get them back in. I don't know how to do that, Tommy.
All we can do is work on us, Devin. Let's just keep rolling here with the
all right, Tommy,
games.
Fill us some space. What you been thinking about? You got anything for us? You got anything?
I'm looking back at this game now. This is second quarter, about 11 minutes left to go in this thing. And I was kind of thinking beforehand, I heard Rich Eisen, who's awesome on NFL Network. He was mentioning kind of the mind frame or the mindset that the Texans have to be in here, which is like, well, okay, this is pretty much it. We're not going to be 1-4 and then come back and beat these guys.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the Colts have beaten up on this division, the AFC South, so bad for this many years. You got to look at the other teams in the division. It's the Titans, it's the Texans, and it's the Jaguars. That's a bad division. That's a very bad division of football. And if you're the Texans, you've got the Colts coming into your house on a short week with a backup quarterback.
Matt Hasselbeck.
And you've got who's 40 years old, like legitimately 40 years old. I'm not making that up. He actually is 40. And I like Matt Hasselbeck just fine, but he's 40 years old. And he was sick earlier in the week. He was literally in the hospital getting fluids because he was sick 2 days ago. and they thought that he was a better choice than Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
How beat up Andrew Luck is apparently, even though certainly it is a big deal. So now you got Matt Hasselbeck on the road on a short week, and it was kind of a deal where it's like, if you can't beat them right now, then when are you ever going to beat them?
Never. Not once, not never.
You know, like how much are they in your head if you can't even beat them at home on a short week against a backup quarterback? And you've drafted the number one guy, Jadeveon Clowney, and you got the best player in the NFL on the other side, J.J. Watt, and you can't get any pass rush. You can't beat them now. Like, when are you going to beat them?
Yeah, you're not going to. This is their best opportunity. What's the score right now?
And it's still 10-0.
Still 10-0. Who's got the ball?
10-0 Colts. The Colts have the ball.
Colts still have the ball. I think that they'll be all right, but yeah, it's not looking good. So what did you want to talk about that, or is that you're just giving your feedback?
No, that was just kind of my thoughts on this. Is like, if Houston can't beat them right now, then when is Houston ever going to beat them? Because they, this is pretty much the perfect shot. You got to do it.
Yeah, if this doesn't work, then nothing works. And if you can't win at home, you're probably not going to win that division if you lose this home game. Because at some point the Colts are going to be okay, right?
You would think.
Maybe not. Maybe.
I mean, you're talking about a preseason pick to go to the Super Bowl, but I think everybody's looking at that team now and going, wait, why? Like, name some guys on that team that you're like, yeah, that's who's taking you to the Super Bowl. You like T.Y. Hilton's taking you to the Super Bowl?
No, he's not.
Old Frank Gore's he's not taking
me to the Super Bowl. He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah. Is old Andre Johnson taking you to the Super Bowl?
Tommy, can we talk about your fantasy team?
Yeah, it's bad.
You're so bad.
Yeah, it's a bad team.
How is that possible?
It's 0-4 team. We were a little beat up at the beginning of the year. We were a little beat up. I had Todd Gurley on the bench, and I had Antonio Gates on the bench. They were hurt or suspended in Antonio's case. They're both back now and healthy, and they're starting.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that turns things around. I've had no running game at all, none. I got a huge first week out of Carlos Hyde, and he has been absent ever since because the 49ers offense has been so inept. They have a quarterback that can't throw the ball 5 yards, so everybody just puts literally like 10 guys in the box because they're like, well, he can't throw it, so they're just going to run it every time, either with Kaepernick or with Hyde.
Hey, have you noticed the standings in our fantasy league? How lopsided it is? The East averages like 380 points a game, every team in there, like 410 to like 361. There's a 328 in there. The West, the division that I'm in, I'm 3-1. I've won 3 in a row. The most anyone scored on this, or the lowest is like 280. Like, it's such a disparity that no one is scoring points in my division. I'm just raking up wins like 76 to 64.
Yep, and then whereas I'm probably in the other division.
No, I think we're in the same division. Yeah, we're in the same division.
If I can't win in the West,
280 points. You've scored the least amount of points in the league. Like, it's
been embarrassing.
Close. It's bad.
I had a defense score me like -3 points one time. I had a kicker score 0.
The guy
I just had weird stuff happening. I really have. It's just been funny, like every week. I had Andrew Luck score like 1 point.
The guy I played last week,
that?
He put up 25 points.
Yeah.
His defense lost him 4.
Yeah. That's my season. It's been, and on top of that, what's weird about it is it's like now the last couple of weeks, it's been on one of those rolls where people have just gone crazy on the other guy's team that I'm playing. And so, like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be like top 3 in the league, like points scored against, and then I'm like last in the league in points scored. So I'm just getting blown out.
Hey, Mitch just texted me. Mitch, if you can hear me, then chat. I need to know if you can hear me. I need to see this pop up.
Double checking our connection.
Why are there divisions in fantasy?
I don't know. It's dumb. At this
There's
point,
16 weeks. We have 12 teams. Who cares?
Well, yeah, but then you'd play everybody once, and you just have 4 weird weeks. Or then you'd have the playoffs. Well, I guess you could. You could play everybody once and then have the playoff. Well, that'd be 11 games, though. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of have to have divisions.
People still can't chat, and I don't know why.
All right.
Hold on. We're going to stop the broadcast real quick and try to start it back up and see what happens.